God named this strange world Abyss and started experimenting. God flooded Abyss with his wild creations. Struggle and war became the norm. If you fight, kill, and survive in Abyss, God rewards you with treasure. The world turned into a brutal chessboard. Everyone was just a piece in God's game. A terrifying dragon looms above. This is the stuff God signed up for. Laying beaten, he curses his enemies, warning they're doomed no matter what. He continues, if it was him. As hope flickers in his eyes, Ares declares, are what remains of humanity. Nobody else is left. Kong Tae stands strong, the third member of humanity's last hope. The Erkanile's time-space crystal, a legendary orb, glows with unimaginable power. Only one person can return to the past, says Ares, and the squad gets ready to choose. Things look hopeless. There's just no way out for this crew. She admits, only one person in the group can rewind time. She calls out Kong Hansu as the chosen time traveler. Kong Hansu, hurt and tired, wonders aloud what to do next. He stares at his bloody hand, lost in thought about his exhaustion. He remembers he's been fighting non-stop, year after year, never any peace. Over and over, Hansu fought relentlessly, no matter what. She tells Hansu humanity's last hope is literally in his hands now. The priest admits Ares is right, and praises Hansu's achievement despite starting late. The red-haired man jokes, saying if he goes back, he can get missed items. Caught himself, he clarifies only Hansu can go back and gather items. Hansu walks determinedly toward the giant artifact as his friends watch. Hansu stands before the glowing artifact, ready to make a crucial choice. The dragon roars, fire blazing from its mouth, threatening everyone. The priest commands Ares and Kong Tae to switch places as the fierce battle begins. The muscular guy grins, how about I show you my skills now? The armored woman rushes ahead, calling, I'll be going first. Follow my lead. The armored woman slams her spear, unleashing a massive golden shockwave. She yells, Kong Tae, now's your chance, as the attack opens an opening. Kong Tae, cloaked in fire, grins, you don't have to tell me. Kong Tae yells, I know already. As flames spiral wildly around him, the blonde strategist, holding a book, snaps, focus. She gently urges, leave this place to us and go. Will you please listen for once? The warrior passes responsibility to Keldian, turning toward a glowing light. Keldian, standing by a massive spellbook, prepares for the task ahead. Keldian calls out to Kong Hansu, insisting he listens closely. Hansu faces Keldian, surrounded by glowing runes and ancient magic. Keldian warns Hansu not to kill needlessly, but shows no mercy to those who threaten peace. Save only those who deserve it, no hesitation for those causing destruction. Keldian lists Berserk Monarch, Clementine, as a target Hansu must defeat. Keldian finally says, then get ready, the magic book glowing fiercely. Keldian slams the book, unleashing a shockwave of magical energy across the land. The portal succeeded. Hansu sees unfamiliar ruins and realizes it worked. Kong Hansu promises himself with fierce determination, I won't fail in this life. People start arguing, blaming each other. Kids are crying for their parents. 100 people disappeared at first, but soon thousands went missing. On his 20th birthday, everything changed for him dramatically. The place is called the Otherworld. It devours dimensions and mixes realities. When everyone from Earth arrives, the door to the Abyss is going to open. The black-haired main character realizes he's got 5 years to get strong. But suddenly, all his skills and strength vanish. He's starting from scratch. He watches the sky as people panic. It's almost time for something big. A strange little creature drops down, catching everyone's attention. It introduces itself. Hello, I'm the assistant fairy. People are freaking out as the fairy claims it will help quick proceedings. The assistant fairy pleads, can everyone please listen to what I'm about to say? He reveals, quick proceedings just mean beating each other up over and over. Someone yells, Otherworld? What's that? Send me home right now. The fairy angrily pleads, please listen to the explanation before you freak out. The fairy gleefully describes a world free of all rules and limitations. The fairy says everyone can make anything they imagine come true here. Suddenly, the black-haired man panics as the fairy's power targets him directly. In a shocking instant, the man is struck by a dark force, catching everyone off guard. Onlookers are horrified as the black-haired man is consumed before their eyes. The fairy casually apologizes, saying it dislikes loud people who talk too much. The fairy, eyes glowing, repeats it hates anything loud, grinning menacingly at the survivors. The fairy introduces runes, magical items gained by killing anything alive. The fairy asks the crowd who wants to try the strength rune. The protagonist remembers using runes before, showing confidence. The fairy praises the protagonist's eagerness and flies over with the rune. The fairy explains the protagonist's muscle strength just scientifically increased. The fairy explains runes have wild powers science can't explain, each with unique effects. The fairy warns everyone, no matter what ability you get, it's always good. People push and fight, yelling, move. That's mine. The panic gets real. The fairy mocks them, saying they don't even need a tutorial at this point. If you touch your right ear, you can check your rune stats anytime. Kong Hansu checks his stats. He's already stronger than normal and excited for more. Others worry, realizing this new world is just as competitive as home. A guy nervously grabs a knife, ready to enjoy the new life, whether he likes it or not. Monsters suddenly appear, roaring, as the real fight for survival begins. Goblin-like monsters crawl toward the humans, looking hungry and ready for action. The goblins face off against the shocked, panicking crowd. Now it's humans versus monsters. A trembling hand tries to calm everyone, but you know it's not working. Another girl urges, don't aggravate it. Slowly move backwards, but panic is spreading. Kong Hansu observes the chaos, calculating his next move while everyone else freaks out. Blue energy walls suddenly appear. One guy yells, it's blocked. Nobody can get out now. Pure panic. Are you kidding me? Let us out. They scream, hitting the glowing wall. Stunned. Someone touches the barrier. What? Realization hits. There's no escape. The blue walls force everyone together. Someone screams. The walls are closing in. A terrifying screech echoes across the battlefield, shocking everyone into fear. Kong Hansu and a man in a red hat realize something big is coming. Ferocious goblins with glowing eyes charge straight toward them, ready to attack. As panic sets in, he tries to run, yelling, what's going on? The lucky guy inside the barrier admits he doesn't know. He could just walk through. Suddenly, he sees a number, 49, and realizes only 49 people can escape now. The man in red shouts, me too, and bolts for the barrier, trying his luck. Everyone panics as they realize only 50 people can leave. Now it's a mad rush. Kong Hansu thinks, how pathetic. If all 100 just fought together, there would be fewer casualties. 40 people are dead because of the goblins, only 10 of us survived. Goblins swarm in, their claws out, and the chaos just explodes. Kong Hansu reels back as goblins leap at him from the shadows. A terrified survivor screams, someone, save, but gets cut off instantly. A goblin comes at him swinging a club. This fight is relentless. Kong Hansu kneels, gripping his blade and plotting his next move. He admits this is his body from years ago, awkward, but he's got a plan. Kong Hansu kneels to collect glowing runes after defeating a monster. He checks his stats and thinks, but I'm pretty lucky. Kong Hansu notices his dexterity has increased by 0.1 points. He explains dexterity isn't just about speed, it boosts other abilities too. Suddenly, a goblin lunges, but Kong Hansu reacts with ultra-fast movement. Kong Hansu's knife lands a perfect strike, taking down the monster instantly. 3 goblins leap at Hansu in a wild frenzy, lightning crackling around him. A goblin howls in pain as Hansu's attack lands, another foe beaten. Chaos erupts as people panic, unsure of what's happening, and start running. Kong Hansu gets hit but blocks, knowing there's no time to slow down now. New arrivals must survive 3 brutal months. This is just the beginning for first years. Tutorial area protection for 3 months. No harm can come to new players here. When that ends, first years are thrown against older survivors, second and third years. Kong Hansu sees this as a once-in-a-lifetime chance to grow stronger. Corpses of goblins and fallen humans litter the battlefield. Kong Hansu survived the chaos. Blood and weapons are everywhere, evidence of the intense battle Kong Hansu just endured. Someone calls him a monster in disbelief. Kong Hansu just smirks, eyes on the next challenge. The fairy praises the survivors, telling them they did a pretty good job. The fairy talks about how many participants are left, while people curse him. The fairy says, now you know how to survive here, and prepares to remove the wall. Survivors panic, but Kong Hansu stands calmly, bandaged and determined. Kong Hansu found something useful, a special item he's excited to use. He inspects a unique blade labeled as a symbol of courtship. Hansu thinks about his next move, realizing he needs to get much stronger. He remembers powerful people he knew and wonders what they would do now. Hansu repeats the words, hidden dungeons, and seems determined to investigate. Nobody has cleared this dungeon before. Not a single one. Even getting halfway through made people crazy strong. Look at these two talking. The mysterious blonde guy flexes, I'm with Valkyrie, proof I made it far. The harder the dungeon, the more ridiculous the treasure and loot you get. But first, Hansu knows he's got some business to handle before that. Safe zones drop after the second stage, letting people finally contact the old arrivals. Hansu arrives at the spot, scanning. The hidden piece should be nearby. The group's leader insists they must cooperate to survive, grabbing a girl's arm. Someone recognizes Kong Hansu's name, calling out to him. Kong Hansu's identity is revealed, and his classmates look totally baffled. Suddenly, Kong Hansu remembers, they're his college classmates from a trip. The girl, Yu Mahi, is determined and now sets her sights on following Hansu. Hansu warns that Mahi's looks will attract dangerous trouble in this world. Mahi apologizes for involving Hansu as a group of punks approaches menacingly. The thugs recognize Hansu as the guy who took out those goblins earlier. The main thug mocks Hansu, doubting he can fight while injured, and tries intimidation. He mocks the punks for being overconfident after their first victory and not knowing real danger. Hansu leans in, eyes sharp, asking if the thug understands what he's really dealing with. Hansu calmly asks if the punk has anything to say now, asserting dominance without breaking a sweat. The group invites Kong Hansu to join, saying there's a lot to do. Boss thinks Hansu isn't hiding his true self, running wild like a hyena. The boss predicts Hansu is destined to become an outlaw. Hansu remembers Ares' advice, only eliminate true threats, don't kill needlessly. Hansu decides not to waste time on these guys. They'll self-destruct anyway. Boss says Hansu isn't worth worrying about, their real focus lies ahead. The leader believes only the strongest have power in this world, setting harsh new rules for survival. One guy realizes, humans are even scarier than the freaking goblins here. Brutality isn't unique to monsters. Even in the past, Hansu was a loner nobody really cared about, always quiet and distant from the group. They start cracking jokes about Hansu talking like an old man to cover their discomfort and suspicions. If Mahi's smart, her looks could be a dangerous weapon, something to be deployed carefully for survival. Mahi asks Hansu for their destination. He's all mysterious, wait and see, refusing to share details. Turns out, their goal is the subway where the hidden piece is, and the group becomes laser focused on the task. The next phase of their wild adventure just got started, no turning back, with real danger lurking underground. Hansu thinks to himself, annoyed at having to explain everything to the group. Hansu says he has a hunch, confusing Ares and raising the group's curiosity. The group is shocked. Superpowers sound crazy, but with fairies, who knows? Kong Hansu tells the group flatly, you don't have to follow if you don't want. The group hesitates but keeps trailing behind Hansu, clearly unsure yet curious. Hansu calmly replies, no, we're meeting some friends who already live down here. The tension spikes. Mahi freaks out as Hansu pulls his blade, tension skyrockets. Taesung screams as a monstrous threat comes crashing towards him. Hansu says the green worms sense vibrations, then crawl out looking for victims. Hansu demonstrates the worms as everyone nervously watches. The threat feels real. Hansu warns, if the worms bite, your flesh could literally get torn off. He explains getting bitten makes you faint, then die before you can react. Hansu shows the simplest way to kill the worms, direct, fast, and brutal. I give him step-by-step survival instructions. Stick to unbroken tiles, stab cracks, stay safe. The nervous guy clutches his knife, clearly terrified but trying to be brave. He motivates himself, he has to prove he can do it now. Suddenly, a massive worm monster bursts out from the ground, attacking him. I instantly slice the monster in half. No biggie, it's light work for me. He tries to thank me, but I cut him off, making it clear he's not fit for fighting. I just walk away, leaving everyone to think about what just happened. The nervous guy believes he'll only end up being a burden to the group. The blonde dude corners me, asking how I seem to predict every event. I smirk and reveal my secret. It's my superpower, I know what's coming. The team faces ferocious monsters, their only option to keep fighting. Hansu picks up a glowing rune, focused while the others hesitate behind him. Hansu asks, why aren't you picking them up? Mahi explains, we want you to take the runes and protect us like a game. Hansu sighs, clearly frustrated with their logic. Flashback to veteran survivors establishing the core rules for everyone's survival. I take what I hunt. This law keeps order, distributing loot by effort. Trust built only on goodwill breaks fast when everyone's life is on the line. Hansu knows the group will learn all too soon how brutal this world is. Mahi, newly determined, runs off to claim her own rune immediately. Hansu thinks, pretty soon they'll do it automatically, no one will need to remind them. One day, they'll fight like wild animals over every single rune. Taesung grabs it and feels its insane power, like he hit the jackpot. Essence of the Acral Troll Tribe. Taesung grins. This could be a superpower upgrade. The blonde guy claims the crystal since he found it and wants assurance. The rune grants defense and healing, making it one of the top picks. It's popular among survivors because everyone wants to stay alive longer. The only catch? This rune makes you super hungry, but strength solves that. The more powerful your rune, the higher your skill rank and potential. Magical experts usually stockpile hundreds of these powerful runes with ease. Keldian, the legend, managed to unlock over 1,000 crazy skills. But even with all those skills, something sets Kong Hansu apart. Kong Hansu stands alone, ready to challenge anything in this world. He reveals he's always been different, not just another survivor. More powerful runes appear, and Hansu's hand reaches for the next challenge. Ares reveals I can only have 7 skills, so 7 is my absolute limit. You could have learned a stronger skill. Ares admits this limitation is a big deal. Only being able to learn 7 skills is a huge flaw in this world. But I've got one thing nobody else has, a strength that makes up for that flaw. Take my regeneration. It started out simple but eventually rivaled legends like Kong Tae's moves. And my rush technique grew as strong as Keldian's insane, space tier, skill. That trait let me catch up to the strongest, even though I started 20 years late. Ares warned me be careful. Pick the 7 right skills, and I can crush this zone. A new skill appears. Taesung gains the essence of the Acral Troll Tribe. Taesung thinks the person who gave up the rune is a total moron. Suddenly, Taesung's all friendly, suggesting they stick together for safety. Hansu finds Taesung's competitiveness cute, but he's not letting his guard down. Hansu smiles mysteriously and says, you'll see, time to find out what's below. The blonde gets annoyed and asks who's interfering in their conversation. He says one crucial item is hidden in the tutorial zone's subway. The secret? There's a subway that hasn't left yet. If you board it, you basically win. Mahi realizes this place isn't Gangnam Station, it's something totally new. Hansu says he's just following his instincts and reassures everyone they're free to leave. The blonde guy confidently steps forward, announcing he'll enter the mysterious area first. Mahi quickly volunteers too, eager not to be left out. Kong Hansu notices Mahi's nervousness but admires her bravery. He observes quietly, guessing she understands the situation better than most. Hansu worries about Mahi's safety in this risky place. He hopes she finds strength, even if facing danger means she'll get hurt. The headphone guy coolly counters that it's none of the blonde guy's business. He asserts that his actions shouldn't matter to anyone else. The group starts down the dark stairway together, determination mixed with nervous energy, every footstep echoing off the cool stone steps. Hansu vows internally never to let insults go unanswered, especially ones involving Mahi. He sharpens his focus, recalling past battles and enemy encounters. He ticks off the known threats in his mind, mentally preparing for the zone's dangers. Adaptation and vigilance will be key to their survival. He steels his nerves, mentally rehearsing what he knows about the ever-changing zone. He will not make the mistake of underestimating it. Hansu readies for whatever challenge awaits. Suddenly, just past the swirling blue light, something unexpected catches his eye in the new environment. Before them stands a convenience store, surreal but undeniably real. Against all reason, Hansu had actually predicted this bizarre, familiar sight. The blonde guy debates which weapons to take, eyeing the store's resources. Mahi catches Hansu picking up a cooking pot, seriously confused. Mahi is shocked, uncertain what Hansu is really up to. Mahi watched Hansu gather monster materials with intense focus in the subway. Hansu grins, explaining goblin skin turns toxic when mixed with green blood. He reveals goblins evolved to survive worms, making their venom extremely potent. The blonde guy jokes about tasting the stew. Hansu deadpans, it's poison. Taesung grills Hansu, but Hansu jokes his brain has a superpower. A blonde, bespectacled teacher warns don't share critical information with anybody. Hansu reminds himself to only reveal knowledge at critical moments, details matter. Mahi wonders if the others can use Hansu's poisonous concoction too. Taesung complains Hansu is way too petty for charging the group like that. He thinks one-sided relationships collapse easily and stands firm. He carefully hands over a bottle, warning it'll hurt to touch. The group scrambles to comply, echoing the "I'll pay you later" logic. The group lines up, backpacks huge. Hansu asks if they're trying to be targets. Mahi realizes Hansu isn't just quiet, he's a master tactician and leader. She remembers billions disappeared, but nobody ever returned from this world. The realization weighs heavily on her mind. Realizing the truth, Mahi breaks down completely. Survival in this harsh place is now her entire life's focus. Mahi clenches her fists. She's determined not to die no matter what obstacles come her way. She resolves that to survive, she has to contribute to the group and slowly get stronger every single day. Taesung, jealous of Hansu, grumbles under his breath about the source of his confidence and mysterious abilities. He bluntly asks Hansu directly if anyone can really obtain these strange and coveted powers too. Hansu shrugs, coolly responding that gaining powers is probably possible, though not as simple as it appears. Taesung's eyes light up, the possibility of powers igniting a spark of hope deep within him. Mahi also feels excitement. Maybe, just maybe, there's hope they might become powerful survivors in this world too. Keldian warns, be super careful, some powers are so strong, they'll stomp you. Keldian coldly says, if someone's useless, just drop them from your group. Taesung, the blonde guy, breaks the tension by calling Hansu out for being rude. Hansu honestly says he just doesn't know what to talk about with others anyway. Despair dulled Hansu's senses, leaving him numb to everything else but survival. Taesung secretly plots once he's strong enough, he'll ditch Hansu and take the lead. Hansu discovers slime on the ground and realizes it's not from any sword snail. Hansu mentally checks no gross odor, no zombie guts. It's something even worse. Hansu's eyes widen. It's a land mermaid, and those things look hungry. He warns the others, if we get hit by the paralyzing venom. The blonde guy gets annoyed, saying, stop acting like a know-it-all alone again. Hansu reveals bottles made into firebombs, improvised Molotov cocktails. The blonde taunts Hansu, is this a superpower too? How convenient for you, Tilda. Blondie smirks, if I had the power to do that. He continues, you must prefer this place to our world. You can do anything here. Hansu sighs deeply, showing the weight he carries despite his confidence. Hansu explains after the firebomb, 3 more will attack together. Whoever is on the front line gets dibs on the runes, and Taesung mocks Hansu's drawing skills. Taesung immediately volunteers to lead, believing the strongest should take the front. Hansu asks the group who wants the risky job, throwing the firebomb. To keep the peace, Hansu says Mahi and the headphone guy will take turns. The group marches deeper into the dangerous zone, doubts and fear creeping in. The headphone guy worries, does everyone really want to go through with this? The headphone guy looks anxious, clutching his firebomb tightly. Hansu warns everyone to stay alert, something dangerous is about to appear. Hansu commands, Mahi, throw a bottle at the source of the noise. Mahi steels herself, thinking, let's not be weak, yeah. Mahi gets fired up, declaring to herself, I can do this. The bottle violently smashes, fire erupting upon impact. Hansu takes charge, saying, I got it. The rest of us attack now. Taesung watches in shock as the battle explodes with chaos and fire. Hansu's dominating, while someone grumbles, he's taking all the runes for himself. Suddenly, a terrifying monster lunges at Taesung, catching him off guard. The monster is stunned for a second, surprised by Taesung's desperate move. Taesung believes with this boost, he'll finally close the gap with Hansu. Hansu's strategy works. The monsters are vulnerable to paralyzing, flammable venom and fire. Hansu knows bringing firebombs was a genius move against these deadly creatures. As Hansu attacks, he doesn't care if his blade is dull, he's unstoppable. Taesung swings, looking thrilled after seeing Hansu's plan in action. Suddenly, a monster spits venom, putting Taesung back in immediate danger. Taesung screams in pain as venom hits him, despite his earlier confidence. Taesung collapses, wounded and embarrassed, as the others watch on. Taesung curses internally, mortified as he realizes everyone saw his humiliating defeat. He screams for someone, anyone, to help him escape. Mahi panics, realizing she's out of firebombs to save Taesung. Suddenly, Sangjin is attacked, the firebomb nearly slipping from his grasp, as Taesung smashes a bottle in desperation. Kong Hansu appears, explaining there won't be any problems if they just follow him through the plan. He checks his leg, realizing his skill healed him quickly, while Hansu advises that boosting stamina and resting will help. As Hansu shares runes, Taesung is surprised at how few he gets, thinking the division is super strict and unfair. Taesung grins, thinking about stealing extra runes for himself, but Hansu catches him red-handed, calling Taesung out for his lack of conscience. Sangjin freezes in panic as he's confronted over the runes, while Taesung grabs Sangjin, intent on intimidation. Wrath fills the air as Taesung threatens Sangjin, while Hansu looks on, the tension between them rising rapidly. Mahi quietly watches everything unfold, uncertain whether to intervene or let the confrontation play itself out. He points to a barely visible tunnel ahead, suggesting they move immediately and not waste another second arguing. Shadows dance along the cave walls, each footstep echoing, haunted by the monsters and disputes that still linger between them. As they vanish into the tunnel, the memory of violence and betrayal lingers, unresolved, in every rapid heartbeat. Only Hansu's unwavering confidence keeps them moving forward, their fate uncertain but their will to survive refusing to break. Taesung bullies Sangjin, blaming him for a failed firebomb and almost dying. Sangjin tries to explain himself, stammering that there's more to the story. Mahi rushes in, yelling at Taesung to let Sangjin go or he'll die. Taesung tells Sangjin to be more careful in the future, as Sangjin coughs. Taesung announces he's taking the runes for himself, showing off a glowing weapon. Hansu steps in, sternly telling Taesung that's not his share to take. Taesung scoffs at giving Sangjin runes, saying he's useless and runes would be wasted. Hansu insists the distribution must be fair, and says not to mess with someone's livelihood. Taesung dismisses Hansu's words as nonsense but warns Hansu not to regret this decision. Hansu tells Sangjin to take responsibility for watching his own share of runes now. Sangjin hesitantly reaches out to claim his own rune, determined not to fall behind again. Mahi worries Hansu finds all the fighting and conflict frustrating. She admits it feels like Hansu could leave the group at any moment. Mahi stands in the middle, concerned about Hansu's distant attitude. Hansu's current stats show his strength and stamina are nearly at 50 combined. A system notification appears. Hansu's the first to hit 50 stamina plus strength. Achievement unlocked. The demon loves people who work hard, giving Hansu weirdly positive vibes. Mahi, anxious, questions if the whole thing is fair when everyone starts differently. The demon gets up close and sinister, warning Mahi she could be an exception. It argues Mahi has an advantage over others anyway, so it's not really unfair. The demon tells Hansu, time for your reward, while Mahi looks worried in the background. The demon explains the healing rune. It's expendable but can save a life. With a healing rune, you can survive almost any danger once. Everyone secretly wonders if Hansu will use a healing rune to save them. Hansu surprises everyone by asking for a rune that grants total magic immunity. The demon wonders if Hansu is too casual but decides a little trick is fine. Kong Tae appears, joking that for him, immunity runes were just lying around. The stats confirm it. Hansu now has magical immunity, enough to cheat death itself. The group is shocked but Hansu quickly wants to move out. Mahi realizes fighting is actually getting easier as she continues. Mahi calls out Hansu. So many runes, but his speed hasn't improved. Hansu reveals to Mahi that it's all because of a special mark on his hand. Mahi demands answers. What's that strange glowing symbol Hansu has? Hansu demonstrates how to collect runes by focusing on them in your hand. Hansu brags it's his superpower. Mahi wants to try, but he stops her. Hansu warns the group copying his trick won't work. Mahi wants to know why. Hansu explains his method slows you down, making it useless to carry many runes. Hansu says he's stockpiling runes to use them as currency later. Hansu sighs, thinking the others don't understand their own weakness. The team braces themselves. Hansu says huge changes are about to happen. Hansu orders everyone to listen carefully, setting a serious tone. He tells the group they can follow him or collect runes. It's their choice now. But right now, Hansu says, everyone must pay attention and do exactly as he says. Hansu tells the team to hand over all their weapons, demanding total trust. Taesung gets aggressive, yelling at Hansu and mocking his logic. Mahi hesitates but offers to hand her weapon over to avoid conflict. Hansu challenges Taesung, does he want to fight the next monster himself? Hansu decides enough is enough. He's going to set some hard boundaries now. Hansu calmly asks the group for their decision, letting them choose their own fate. Taesung insists they should all stick together and help each other fight. Hansu reflects on the meaning of friendship and the people he's left behind before. Hansu remembers that Keldian is far ahead in a tougher zone, fueling his determination. Hansu decides he needs to press forward quickly and can't afford to wait. Hansu tells everyone to think things over downstairs, hinting at what's ahead. The group sprints into the darkness, ready or not, as something screams below. A gigantic, armored monster appears. None of them expected to face something like this. Taesung can't believe Hansu is planning to take on the monster alone. Hansu faces the enemy with cold, relentless determination in his eyes. The snake strikes, shaking the entire subway. This is an insane boss fight. Hansu quietly prepares himself, thinking deeply, blocking out the chaos. The blast explodes, sending debris flying everywhere. This fight just got wild. Its scales are so tough, even legendary swords would bounce right off. Its scales may be strong, Hansu analyzes while preparing his next move. The serpent roars furiously, revealing its massive fangs and mouth. Hansu waits for the right moment, eyes locked on the monster's head. Cool and collected, Hansu looks unshaken after landing his attack. Hansu, battered but victorious, reflects, it's finally reacting to it. The serpent recoiled. Hansu readies his next throw with laser focus and zero fear. He smirks, taunting the monster, waiting for his toxic plan to kick in. The group realizes they're out of weapons and must double back for more. Mahi hesitates, her concern for Hansu growing stronger. The whole group rushes down the hall, running as fast as they can. Hansu takes a brutal hit from the serpent. Mahi screams in horror, fearing the worst. Poison seeps through the serpent's wounds, showing signs of agony as Hansu's plan unfolds amid the chaos. Hansu grits his teeth, fighting back pain. He can't afford to show any weakness now, not with everyone watching. The rest of the group arrives, witnessing the aftermath and chaos left behind by the brutal confrontation with the serpent. The teammates regroup, shaken but determined, knowing they must press on. No one can fall behind if they want to survive. Hansu grips his knife, preparing for a critical attack. Hansu bravely lunges at the giant monster, aiming straight for its core. Hansu quickly recovers and faces off against the serpent monster again. He examines his injured arm, noting his stamina boost will help it heal quickly. Facing the giant snake, Hansu now feels the fight has become much easier. Mahi confesses she worried about Hansu and asks if his arm is alright. Taesung feels insecure, overwhelmed by how far ahead Hansu is. Hansu receives a special reward crystal for defeating the strong monster, Scaled Snake's Shockwave. Hansu thinks there's no point keeping the reward, he won't use it for himself. Headphone guy tries to resist, pointing out Taesung already has a power. Hansu steps in, demanding to know why the two are fighting right after surviving. Mahi wants the deal, asking Hansu if a decision's been made. Hansu reflects that hidden powers and instincts help survival in this world. Mahi hands Hansu a stack of runes for the deal. Agility, sense, stamina, strength. Hansu keeps his deal, taking payment but giving a 5% discount on strength runes. Mahi praises Hansu for being extremely thorough in his transactions. Hansu moves on with determination, preparing to craft something new. Hansu spots a huge Zudirium crystal cluster, confirming his theory. Hansu grabs a Zudirium crystal, ready for the next big move. Hansu activates his superpower and immediately catches his friend's attention and curiosity. Hansu leads the way, while his friends follow, all tense and alert. They notice gross monster guts on the ground. Definitely not a good smell. Time to invent. Hansu says they need to make new, even better weapons. Hansu recalls a weapon combo needle plus monster parts equals a lethal tool if used right. He examines the finished weapon, admitting the tip turned out a little blunt from handcrafting. Hansu smirks, confident he's now got the strength needed for their next challenge. The terrifying chained beast Hansu must defeat growls, holding the secret to the next prize. Hansu explains the pros and cons of different monster materials to the blonde guy, offering detailed insights into crafting. Hansu thinks to himself this weapon, despite the work, doesn't even come close to matching his own absolute best one. Taesung grumbles under his breath, thinking Hansu selfish for using up all of the precious monster parts so quickly. Taesung convinces himself hell just endure for now since there will be better loot and chances ahead anyway. The group arrives in a glowing, spotless subway, reaching what seems like their final stop deep underground. Inside the subway, Taesung notices it's clean, brightly lit, and thinks the big rewards should come easily now. The group starts to enter the train, but Mahi hesitates and questions why they are supposed to be boarding it. Hansu sits alone in the train while the rest of the group hesitates nervously at the doors, uncertain what to do. Taesung yells, frustrated, claiming Hansu got this far only with the group's help and wouldn't have survived alone. Hansu admits out loud that there's no rule saying he absolutely has to go first in this world or scenario. With a smug grin, Hansu tells them, choose any one of the two, leaving the group completely stunned and frozen. The tension builds. No one wants to make the first move, the group frozen by Hansu's challenge and looming threat. Taesung grits his teeth, burning with frustration while Mahi anxiously hangs her head. Taesung doubts Hansu's seriousness, convinced only crazy people act like him. Taesung secretly plots, if all three attack Hansu, maybe they can beat him. It's worth the risk. Taesung weighs the danger, sweating as he decides. He's capable of way more. Hansu coldly says, I'll see you later, then. Mahi encourages the group, let's move on. We have to keep going. Hansu prepares to reveal his insights, analyzing and summarizing crucial information about the subway's secrets. If you pass a station, it's gone. No second chances. Hansu's inventory shows off epic loot, 8 powerful weapons found so far. Hansu's loaded on weapons, hoping for something crazy new this round. The item is called Maniac's Cloud Snack. It's mysterious and unique. Hansu grins. This is the op game changer he's been waiting for. A vision of a blonde knight scolds him for smoking again. The golden knight's image appears, embracing Hansu with warmth. She tells him, cigarettes don't suit you, handing him the box. She jokes he'll ruin his handsome face if he keeps smoking. Alone again, Hansu exits the train, checking if everyone has left. Option 1: grind monsters and rack up as many runes as possible. He quickly decides he won't hesitate this time around. Hansu reminds himself he's already made solid progress on missions. I have no idea what I'll get, but I'm aiming for missions with the best rewards. That reward is crazy valuable. Artifacts like this are super rare, even after the tutorial. Who could have beaten this insane mission? Oh, wait, it was her. Only someone like Anvi Aaron, a Death Squad member, could pull this off. Her trusted allies betrayed her as soon as the tutorial started, and her rage unlocked insane powers. Honestly, I'm skipping this one. It doesn't sit right with my goal of saving people. Let's start there. I need enough stamina, and moonlight's the best time to secure it. I find a massive hole in the floor. It's clear someone or something dangerous came through here. Welcome to post-apocalyptic Gangnam. Nature's reclaimed the city, but chaos rules. Hansu's group watches, fuming as the rivals shamelessly steal every last supply. The group complains about losing even their share, completely out-hustled by pros. Blue Jackets whisper they've never seen Headphone Guy talk this much. Crisis mode unlocked. Rival boss with nose bandage grins, clearly loving the chaos he's caused. Taesung tells the crew to ignore the taunt. Don't fall for their provocation. Suddenly, dark-suited rivals confront someone. Who are you? As tension rapidly rises, Hansu steps forward, casually telling the suit guys to check the subway for food. With a sly smile, Hansu offers to show them the way before anyone else gets it. The blonde threatens one of the rivals, demanding obedience in this desperate situation. He mocks the group, saying they're weak and not worthy of a trap. Meanwhile, Mahi anxiously peers outside, keeping a watchful eye on her friends. Mahi excitedly spots Hansu approaching, relieved and calling him to safety. Mahi feels a huge sense of relief seeing Hansu return unharmed to the room. Even if caught, the blonde's confident he can lie his way out. Their supplies are running low, and everyone is worried about what comes next. Hansu ignores Taesung's scheme and casually says they should just eat first. Taesung thinks Hansu just sneered at him and looks angry. Taesung slams the table, realizing something feels off about this situation. Taesung calls Hansu shameless for not offering anything in exchange. Mahi is confused, reminding Taesung that the food was meant to be shared with everyone. The other group members awkwardly nod, siding with Taesung for now. Hansu mutters what a shame, clearly unfazed and not backing down from Taesung. Other group members start getting suspicious, asking what Hansu found. Hansu stays silent and unimpressed, refusing Taesung's intimidation. Hansu thinks Taesung's approach is obvious, since they treat each other as equals. Despite everything, Hansu decides this isn't a real issue and questions the situation. Hansu admits he followed Ares' advice and did what he could for the group. The group left behind looks shocked and concerned as Hansu departs on his own. The group tries to keep the peace, begging everyone to not fight now. The blonde girl pushes Mahi to help bring someone named Hansu back. The blonde guy tries to look unfazed, saying to let Hansu leave. Hansu walks out alone, while someone inside angrily curses him for leaving. The blonde guy tells the group they don't need Hansu, but Mahi hesitates. Mahi runs out, asking Hansu if she can join him too. Hansu suddenly offers Mahi a real choice, letting her decide to come or not. The blonde tries to stop Mahi, but Hansu calmly reassures, saying it's okay. Headphone Guy shocks everyone by saying he's leaving and joining the others. Taesung smirks and questions if Headphone Guy knows what he's even doing. Taesung grabs him, saying he can't act out and threatening family revenge. He points out they can't go outside, so threats are pointless here. Headphone Guy declares he doesn't have a reason to listen to Taesung now. Taesung is stunned. His efforts to crush the guy have failed. Taesung yells at the group to leave, saying his team has all the food. The trio walks together at night through a ruined city, sticking to their decision. Hansu insists there's no point. Taking food would be pointless now. Headphone Guy stares blankly, seriously wondering what Hansu's plan is. Hansu reveals no surprise since Headphone Guy knows nothing about the moon. Hansu smirks, saying it's almost midnight, a crucial time. Mahi looks startled, realizing something is about to happen. The full moon hangs over broken city buildings, setting up what's next. Headphone Guy shouts in shock as food mysteriously crumbles in his hand. She discovers that their entire hall has transformed into a pile of sand. The group freaks out, wondering if they're glowing targets too, but nearby people are invisible. Hansu denies it with a sly grin, but he's suspiciously chill for all this mayhem. Hansu watches the chaos unfold, looking down and declaring, truly a crappy world. Mahi and the group watch Hansu walk away, worried and confused. Hansu takes charge, saying he'll do what needs to be done. The blonde girl panics and asks what their next move is. Just when Taesung cracks, the blonde girl gasps and spots something outside. Taesung realizes if they get attacked together, they won't stand a chance. She claps back, saying staying put is pointless and they can't win alone. The group debates hiding, realizing enemies might target Hansu if they disappear. They discuss making peace, figuring too many people could force a negotiation. Taesung reluctantly admits a temporary alliance might be smart for survival. He secretly hopes helping Hansu will earn him a valuable favor later. Taesung leads everyone outside, planning to sneak by unnoticed using the lit path. Taesung desperately tries and fails to remove the vine trap from his leg. A mysterious man confronts them, questioning if dragging Taesung is a good idea. An older leader appears with a gang, saying escape is impossible and mocking them. The group is stunned, realizing they're totally outnumbered and cornered. The enemy leader taunts them, acting offended by their harsh language. The boss stands over the blonde, ending the conversation coldly. The blonde panics as the boss slams his foot down threateningly near him. In a panic, the blonde offers to snitch, promising to reveal everything. The boss appreciates his fear, but says someone else wants a word. A man with a bandaged nose steps up, grinning and ready to sort this out. Bandaged Nose laughs, telling his crew to beat up the blonde, in moderation. With pure hatred, the blonde vows revenge, swearing to kill them all. Hansu, headphone guy, and another girl sit calmly, focused on eating, purposefully ignoring the commotion around them. Mahi tries to act cool, deliberately inviting everyone to eat together, desperately pretending it's all about teamwork and unity. Hansu's group immediately grows tense as Taesung and Mahi edge closer, making a move toward their precious food. Confused and frustrated, Mahi yells at Hansu, demanding answers about his defensive move and the sudden shift in atmosphere. Mahi taunts Hansu with a sneer, boldly asking what will actually happen if they dare cross the drawn line, testing him. Taesung grumbles and complains about Hansu's overpowered ability, feeling obviously irritated, defensive, and totally outmatched by the situation. Hansu explains his unusual powers further, doubling down on his warning those two always make things more dangerous, so beware. Mahi and Taesung exchange glances, realizing Hansu has caught onto their plan and apprehensively call him incredibly sharp and observant. The ominous leader of the new group smirks, his presence alone instantly raising the tension and dread in the entire room. Mahi worries intensely, feeling panic rise as she realizes the situation could spiral totally, irreversibly out of control here. Every glance and gesture crackles with suspense. It's clear that everyone's next move could ignite chaos or create fragile alliances. But wait, there's a twist. Another hidden condition to this greedy game. In this food-starved chaos, teamwork is out and every man is for himself. Hansu tells himself to stay cool, even though the pressure is off the charts. Taesung unleashes his fury, yelling at his teammates for abandoning him during the chaos. The group tries to calm Taesung down before things spiral completely out of control. Hansu coolly deflects, claiming meat is everywhere, challenging their suspicions. Hansu reveals his secret: boil the meat in goblin blood to make it edible. The older man looks stunned, realizing Hansu knows a trick nobody else does. He remembers someone said Hansu possessed superpowers. Taesung tries to act casual, holding up his hands, surprised by the situation. He thinks to himself, today's perfect for a fight with Hansu. The group strategizes, noting their numbers advantage against a normal 20-year-old. He orders Taesung to eat and chat with Hansu, framing it as friendship, but plotting something. The older man steps forward, saying, he's right. Let's have a little chat. Hansu calmly declares, looks like this is the end, gripping his weapon. Taesung is caught and overpowered, falling hard, completely stunned. In the crowd, a guy cries out, my feet. As chaos erupts among the onlookers, headphone guy is left staring in horror as Hansu walks away, shaken by what happened. Taesung, furious and desperate, warns the group about trusting Hansu's strength. He shouts that Hansu will turn on them for power, causing fear. Kill him now. Don't wait or you'll regret it. Taesung pressures the group. He can't escape in the moonlight. Let's get rid of him now, the group decides. Hansu recalls Ares and Keldian's advice: argue all you want, but don't make enemies lightly. Hansu cracks a cold, confident smile, ready to act on that brutal lesson. He reveals a glowing artifact, causing the crowd to question what trick he's plying next. The mob starts to panic and shouts, crush him into dust. The showdown is on. The entire group charges Hansu with weapons, screaming to finish him off now. He taunts the group, saying, let me test out the mission on you. In one blow, Hansu sends an enemy flying while the others panic. He tries to rally his terrified gang, yelling their strength in numbers. Hansu's calm steps make his opponent hesitate, warning him to think twice. The old man warns again, it's not something a kid can take lightly. Hansu's strike lands. The old man staggers with blood spraying from both arms. Standing tall, Hansu looks emotionless while the old man collapses at his feet. Hansu stares coldly forward, as silence falls after the brutal duel. Two survivors stare in shock as a battered man collapses by their feet. Hansu stands over his defeated opponents and addresses the remaining challengers. With a smirk, Hansu dares anyone left to step up and fight him. They turn and sprint away as Hansu calmly wipes his sword, unfazed. Hansu walks confidently toward Mahi and the headphone guy. She looks nervous. Hansu prepares to eat, while Mahi silently tries not to stare at his food. What's wrong? Hansu teases, letting Mahi know he won't share his meal. The ruined city reflects the disaster that just happened as dawn begins to break. Hansu drags himself forward, stuffed, thinking, I ate nearly 3 days worth of food. This bag holds nearly 2 weeks worth of food, total game changer. I walk ahead, clutching my winnings, while Mahi and headphone guy follow quietly. Mahi hesitates, asking if what I'm doing is truly okay. She nervously checks, relieved I didn't kill our opponents after the fight. Mahi freaks out, turns red, and blurts she's just worried about me. Mahi has already accepted this world's harsh reality, adapting faster than most. To unite everyone and reduce conflict, the most vital step is, sure, I could take their runes, but it's not worth losing good people. Truth is, there are too many witnesses for me to just erase the evidence. Headphone guy admits, he just can't continue on this journey any longer. Mahi's confused and worried, but gets told, do whatever you want. I respect everyone's preference, I say, trying to keep things calm. And just like that, our group starts to split up, drifting apart. Finally, I turn and ask Mahi, aren't you scared of me? She hesitates. Mahi stands in silence, obviously stressed but determined to stay. Hansu and Mahi exchange a serious look, something unspoken hanging in the air. With a smile, Hansu leads the way. Mahi follows, reluctant but loyal. Hansu decides, in that case, let's go, and the mission continues. Together, Hansu and Mahi head into the unknown, ready for whatever comes. Taesung swears Hansu made a mistake laying them live, his wounds already healing. Taesung promises revenge, but suddenly notices something unexpected approaching. Taesung, looking beat up, begs Sangjin for help and an alliance. Taesung mocks a rival, saying he's barely alive and not scary. Taesung tries to cut a deal, offering to share rewards with Sangjin. Suddenly confused, Taesung doesn't understand Sangjin's cold, silent approach. Taesung is stunned, demanding to know why Sangjin's coming for him. Sangjin grabs Taesung by the collar, completely overpowering him. Taesung nervously agrees you have to seize opportunities, realizing he messed up. The blonde struggles, terrified, as he's held and threatened with a bloody knife. Headphones guy reminds the blonde, it's time he learns where he really stands. Headphones guy laughs darkly, almost in disbelief, at how things have changed. Headphones guy starts to cry, overwhelmed, but fights to keep his composure. He tells himself not to get weak now, this isn't the time to break down. An older guy begs Hansu for mercy, suddenly offering alliance to try and save himself. I finally get why Hansu never bothered chasing after me before. A bruised man begs Hansu to cooperate, promising, if we join hands, we'll get stronger. He drops the act, pleading desperately, let me live, please. And questions his own worth. Thinking back, he blames himself, if only he had fought beside Hansu during danger. He regrets not growing stronger and feels he just hid behind Hansu's strength. Hansu stands in silence, his back turned, not looking back at the past. Headphones guy stares in shock, finally realizing all his missed chances to change. He remembers nothing's changed. He's always shrunk back, fearful, just like in his past. Determined now, he claims, I'm going to prove myself. And resolve lights up his eyes. He decides, if I use these fools and catch up, you'll finally see me differently.